African Savannah, the survival instincts of the young. Dawn breaks over the African Savannah. The first rays of sunlight cut through the mist, where life begins and death lurks. This is the world of the young, where every day is a trial and every minute is a fight for survival. To be born on the African Savannah is to be given a chance, but only those strong enough, fast enough, and lucky enough will survive. Welcome to the battle for survival, where instinct is tested from the very first moment, and only the strongest earn a tomorrow. During the calving season, within just 3 weeks, 500,000 wildebeest calves are born, 24,000 each day, nearly 1,000 every hour. A calf must stand within minutes and run within an hour. There is no choice, only run or die. All around them, hyenas, wild dogs, lions, and cheetahs wait patiently for a moment of weakness, for a single mistake. The statistics are brutal. Only 1 in 10 calves will survive to adulthood. Luck does not always smile. African wild dogs, Lycaon pictus, are the perfect cooperative hunters. Now it is their breeding season, and deep inside a den, a litter awaits. 12 pups lie blind and helpless, completely dependent on the pack. Every member helps, shares food, and protects the young. But danger is never far. Hyenas, their ancient rivals, twice their size and 3 times their strength, invade their territory. The wild dogs do not flee. They counterattack with speed and coordination, driving the hyenas away from the pups' safe zone. To feed their young, wild dogs must hunt wildebeest, weighing up to 150 kilograms, 3 times their own weight. Strategy is their greatest weapon. They do not bite to kill, they bite to weaken, targeting legs, belly, and muzzle until the prey slows and finally collapses. The food is carried back, chewed, and regurgitated for the pups. Every member sacrifices for the next generation. Yet the greatest threat is not the hyenas, but a silent kidnapper, the honey badger, a specialist in stealing the young. While the pack is hunting, the honey badger slips deep into the den, seizes a pup, and disappears in silence. The cry of distress is heard. The wild dogs rush back, surround the intruder, and trap the honey badger in enemy territory. The wild dogs do not rush in blindly. Their strategy shifts from killing to exhaustion, bite after bite, relentless and precise. Finally, the honey badger is exhausted, drops the pup, and escapes. A victory of instinct where family bonds prevail. Meanwhile, high in a tree, a leopard, Panthera pardus, is also raising young, 2 cubs just 3 months old. The mother must hunt to produce milk and feed her cubs. She leaves them in the tree, the safest place, and slips away quietly. She catches a young antelope weighing 30 kilograms, enough to feed the family, and drags it into the tree. But the scent of blood attracts unwanted guests. Lions smell the kill and arrive. The leopard cannot fight them, so she abandons the prey and flees to survive. A curious young lion climbs the tree, searching for more, and discovers 2 leopard cubs hidden in a hollow. Luck intervenes. The lion cub is too large to fit inside. It claws and snarls, but cannot reach them. Eventually, the lion gives up and leaves with the pride. The cubs survive thanks to a hollow tree and a bit of luck. The leopard mother returns, calls softly, and the cubs emerge. They are reunited. Another day survived, another lesson learned. Weeks later, the cubs are stronger. The mother decides to bring them down for the first time to explore the world below. Danger appears in the form of a rival male leopard, an intruder who could kill the cubs to claim the female. The mother charges to confront him, but at the same moment, another threat lies in wait. Hyenas watching closely. The hyenas seize the opportunity and rush toward the cubs. Hearing their cries, the mother must choose between driving off the intruder or saving her young. Maternal instinct wins. She abandons the male and launches herself at the hyenas with fierce determination. Against all odds, a mother's courage prevails. She tears her cub from deadly jaws just in time. The cub is wounded but alive. A scar remains, a lesson learned. The outside world is unforgiving, and only the vigilant survive. Back with the wild dogs, the pups are growing. It is time to leave the den and move to safer ground, a journey filled with risk. 12 pups move in a line, too many to fully protect. The slowest will become targets. Lions encounter them by chance. 2 females spotting opportunity in a moving pack with vulnerable young. The wild dogs sense danger but cannot run fast with pups. They must fight to protect their young at all costs. The lions charge, not at the adults, but at the weakest and slowest, separating it from the pack. "11 pups remain, and the journey continues. A painful lesson is learned. Not all will make it, but the pack must go on." A week later, they reach a new den, safer and farther away. 11 pups have learned their first lesson of life. Across the vast savanna, thousands of wildebeest calves are now 3 weeks old, faster and stronger, yet still vulnerable. Wild dogs hunt again, targeting the herd, not the adults, but the calves, easier to isolate and bring down. A calf runs at full speed, 60 kilometers per hour. But wild dogs reach 65 and take turns, never tiring. The weakening strategy continues, biting legs, belly and muzzle until the calf slows, collapses, and is exhausted. Death comes quickly, part of the natural cycle, food for the wild dog pups so they may grow and survive. A leopard cub, now 5 months old, more confident and curious, wanders alone while its mother hunts. A leopard cub, now 5 months old, more confident and curious, wanders alone while its mother hunts. Wild dogs spotted a lone leopard cub without its mother, a rare opportunity. They charge within seconds. The cub is brought down, the end swift and brutal. A harsh lesson for the leopard mother: never leave a cub alone. The mother returns, searching and calling, but there is no answer, only silence and tracks on the ground. A lesson written in blood, teaching the cost of a single mistake. In the final month of the dry season, the savanna grows harsher. Water is scarce, food limited, and survival pressure rises for all species. The young must learn faster and mature sooner. What does not kill them makes them stronger. The African savanna forgives no mistakes and offers no second chances. But those who survive earn their right to live. This is the African savanna, where only the strongest survive, where instinct is the weapon and hope is the only thing that endures. The power of motherhood, protecting the young hunters of the African savanna. The African savanna is where life depends on the protective instincts of mothers. This is a daily journey of survival. Predators always watch. Mothers always stand ready to react. This balance maintains the order of nature. Each species has its own strategy to protect its young. Some rely on speed, others on strength. But challenges always strike unexpectedly. Predators choose the moment when the young are most vulnerable. In nature, the role of mothers is not only to guide. They are the first and final line of defense. Warthogs, buffalo, giraffes, and elephants each carry a unique form of protection shaped by millions of years of evolution. But on the savanna, one thing remains true. The young are always the top target for predators. And here are 4 stories, 4 journeys, that show the power of motherhood in the wild. Among smaller species, the warthog is a master of survival. They rely on speed and reflexes to protect their young. The young stay right behind the mother, a formation that minimizes detection. A cheetah appears in the distance, body low to the ground, moving almost soundlessly. The warthog mother instantly shifts sideways, turning her body into a shield between the predator and her young. As the cheetah accelerates, the mother charges forward to break its approach. After a tense moment, the lioness withdraws. The warthog mother leads her young away, ending 2 confrontations in the same morning. Unlike warthogs, buffalo rely on numbers and unity to protect their calves. A newborn raises the herd's alertness, as it is at its most vulnerable stage. A group of lions approaches, observing the defensive formation. The mother buffalo steps forward, blocking the lion's path. One lion attempts a flank attack, but the mother knocks it aside with powerful force. The herd responds instantly, closing into a defensive circle. Their collective strength makes it difficult for lions to find a safe opening. Realizing the risk, the lions begin to back away. One lion attempts a final strike, but is stopped immediately. The precise counterattack ends all chances for the predators. With no options left, the lions retreat. The mother checks her calf one last time. The young is brought to safety deep within the herd, the clearest proof of strength in unity. Dawn spreads across the African plains, beautiful yet deceptive. A dramatic stage is about to unfold. A newborn giraffe struggles to stand. Though it rises within 30 minutes thanks to specialized bones, its unsteady legs are an open invitation to danger. The threat appears. A lone lioness assessing from afar, waiting for the slightest mistake. The mother tries to shield her calf, but the experienced predator knows how to isolate its target. The chase begins. Uneven terrain becomes a deadly trap. A slip into a deep ditch removes the calf's height advantage, giving the lioness her moment. The lioness locks onto the throat, her signature finishing move. The mother can only watch helplessly. Intervening would mean death. The fight ends quickly. Statistics show that 50% of giraffe calves do not survive their first year. As the lioness feeds under the scorching sun, the scent of blood spreads quickly across the plains. Across a harsher landscape with scarce water, a different battle unfolds, this time with elephants. A lion pride targets a wandering elephant calf, but they have chosen the wrong opponent. Elephants rely on collective power and remarkable intelligence. A second panicked calf also falls into the ambush. Its cries are silenced by fatal bites to the airway. Overwhelmed by the lion's ferocity, the adult elephants are forced to retreat. Their family bond is shattered by nature's harsh law. As the dust settles, a tragic yet majestic scene remains. Two elephant calves become a rare feast that will sustain the pride for days. Even the elephant's thick skin cannot stop the lions from tearing into the flesh beneath. Proof that giants are not invincible. On the African savanna, every mother has her own strategy to protect her young from countless threats. Warthogs rely on lightning-fast reflexes, while buffalo depend on the strength of the herd. Giraffes and elephants, despite their natural advantages, still face biological limits they cannot overcome. Those limits create a natural balance, where predators and prey continuously evolve just to survive. Not every confrontation ends the same way, but each moment reflects the rules of this unforgiving landscape. A mother's instinct is the first line of defense for life, but it cannot guarantee absolute victory. Dawn breaks over the Serengeti, golden light sweeping across the endless sea of grass. Every breeze carries the breath of an ancient ecosystem millions of years old. Here, one of nature's greatest movements is about to begin. The journey of more than 2 million animals following an eternal cycle. This is not simply a search for fresh grass. It is the heartbeat of an entire landscape, a cycle that shapes the fate of countless species. The savanna opens wide, and nature begins to tell a story of endurance, survival, and Earth's remarkable balance. The migration begins in southern Serengeti, where the rains have passed and the grass has begun to fade. Wildebeests are the first to sense changes in moisture. They gather into small groups. There is no leader. They move by instinct, guided by sound, motion, and the scent on the wind. Within days, hundreds of small herds merge into a massive flow, the iconic phenomenon of the Serengeti. This moving river of life stretches to the horizon, sometimes extending more than 40 kilometers. Such enormous numbers are a survival strategy. The more they gather, the lower the chance of being singled out by predators. Their marching hooves create a deep, rumbling sound that echoes for kilometers. Each year, more than 1.2 million wildebeests begin a journey nearly 1,000 kilometers long. Zebras usually depart first. Their teeth are built for tougher, older grasses. They clear the path, cutting down tall grass and exposing tender shoots for the wildebeests behind them. The stripe pattern of every zebra is unique, like a fingerprint. These stripes allow them to recognize one another amid the massive moving herds. Zebras live in stable family units, one male, several females, and their young. During the migration, family groups merge but maintain distance to avoid mixing. Zebras have excellent facial memory. They can identify members from hundreds of meters away. The partnership of zebra leading and wildebeest following creates a near-perfect migratory structure. The arrival of the great herds signals the start of hunting season for lions, cheetahs, and hyenas. Lionesses typically ambush at the herd's edges, where young animals are most vulnerable. Yet only a small fraction fall prey. The herd's size overwhelms predators' ability to focus on a single target. Cheetahs, the fastest animals on Earth, attack only when the herd formation breaks. Hyenas rely not on speed, but endurance and coordinated teamwork. Even predators have limits. Amid the ocean of prey, they take only what their clans need. The migration continues almost uninterrupted. This is natural balance. Predators strong, but the herd far too vast to be stopped. As the herds push north, they enter the driest region of the journey, where water nearly disappears. Temperatures can exceed 40 degrees Celsius. Endurance is the only key to survival here. Wildebeests can regulate their body temperature, allowing them to withstand heat better than many grazers. They can walk for hours without drinking, a vital evolutionary advantage. Calves are slower, but the herd protects them by surrounding them in a circular formation. Continuous movement creates trails etched into the earth for centuries. Silence dominates, broken only by hooves and the whisper of dry grass. Even in hardship, the herd moves on, as if survival instinct pushes them forward without pause. Ahead lies the greatest barrier of all, the Mara River, the most dangerous crossing of the migration. The herd hesitates. Thousands stand at the edge, sniffing and watching the current. Nile crocodiles, reptiles older than 200 million years, lie hidden beneath the water. When a single brave animal jumps in, the entire herd follows like a breaking flood. Thousands plunge at once, creating a chaotic but powerful spectacle. Strong currents sweep away the weak, yet most make it across. Despite ambushes, crocodile attacks account for only about 1%, far less than many expect. Exhausted but alive, the herd climbs the opposite bank. The greatest trial is behind them. Reaching the Masai Mara, the herd's reward is vast green plains renewed by the rains. Seeds long dormant burst to life after only a few early storms. This fresh grass is rich in protein, helping the animals recover rapidly. Zebras and wildebeests graze in alternating patterns, allowing the plains to regenerate smoothly. The young born during the rains are now strong enough to keep pace. The Mara becomes a temporary sanctuary, a place to regain strength for the journey back. Life flourishes. Birds of prey, small antelopes, and insects explode in number. This is the most prosperous stage of the migration, abundance overshadowing danger. When the rains end, the grass turns color, signaling the return south. The herds gather once more, now with calves ready for the challenge. The return journey is long and harsh, but this cycle has persisted for thousands of years. There is no beginning or end, only the eternal rhythm of movement. This cycle restores soil, spreads seeds, and maintains the health of the Savannah's wildlife. Massive amounts of dung enrich the land with every kilometer traveled. Without the migrating herds, the Serengeti would be unrecognizable within decades. This is the heart of the Savannah, always beating, always sustaining life. The Great Migration influences not only Serengeti, but the entire East African ecosystem. Thanks to the herds, millions of tons of nutrients are redistributed every year. Even predators depend on this cycle to maintain the strength of their populations. Migratory birds follow the herds, feeding on the insect boom along the route. It is one of the most complete natural regeneration systems on Earth. Life here endures because movement never stops. The African savanna is where the circle of life plays out in extraordinary harmony between land and sky. The Great Migration stands as proof of nature's resilience, powerful, patient, and eternal. At the northern edge of the Earth, where the sun brushes gently across ice-covered forests, it leaves behind a cold glow and the feeling of an ancient beginning. In this world, winter lasts more than half the year, covering the land in an endless white blanket. Life survives only through extraordinary endurance. This is a place where time moves slowly, where every footprint tells a story, and every gust of wind carries the spirit of the North. This is Alaska and northern Canada, a land of silence and freezing winds, where each breath feels like it could turn to ice, and nature moves to its own rhythm. This region spans more than 7 million square kilometers, forming one of the largest and most untouched taiga forests left on Earth. Here, winter temperatures can fall below -40 degrees Celsius, turning rivers, lakes, and vast valleys into frozen mirrors of the northern sky. Yet this harshness creates a beauty found nowhere else, where light, snow, and forest merge into a landscape that feels almost surreal. This is home to the strongest creatures of the North: grizzly bears, caribou, northern wolves, and birds hardened by the cold. Each species carries the marks of long evolution, traits that let them survive thousands of winters. Even beneath the ice, the ecosystem remains active, quietly but powerfully, from the cloud layer above to the frozen ground below. From mountain peaks to frozen lakes, life exists everywhere, just slower, quieter, and perfectly in tune with the cold. We will discover how nature keeps its cycle alive in a place that appears motionless. The taiga forest, a northern ocean of trees, is a resilient ecosystem where billions of spruces and pines have stood firm through countless winter storms. Tall trunks coated with thin layers of frost hold the breath of winter upon them. The moose, massive yet gentle, is a symbol of the taiga. Its broad hooves act like snowshoes, helping it move gracefully and conserve energy in the harsh cold. When winter reaches its deepest point, vast lakes turn into giant sheets of glass reflecting the northern sky. In the frozen valleys, packs of gray wolves hunt relentlessly. Their strength lies in their numbers, the ultimate survival weapon. A lone bear cub wanders through the snow, lost from its mother. To hungry wolves, innocence becomes opportunity. But predators have weaknesses too. One wolf limps on an injured front leg, a life-threatening flaw in the wild. The pack spreads into a wide arc, preparing to cut off the cub's retreat. Chaos erupts. Sharp bites scatter the cub from its mother's protection. It is now completely alone. The mother returns, but too late. Against the wolf's deadly jaws, the cub stands no chance. The young bear falls. Seeing her offspring lifeless, the mother's grief turns fierce, and the wolves retreat as her rage erupts. Pain settles beside her fallen cub. The mother memorizes the scent of the killers. The chase begins. She charges across the snow with terrifying speed, driven by vengeance. The wolves think they've escaped, but the injured one falters, slipping farther behind. The distance closes. The damaged leg gives way, and the wolf stumbles into a deep snow hole, a fatal mistake. Without hesitation, the mother unleashes all her strength. In the wild, the weakest always pays the price. Nature's justice is unforgiving. In this frozen land, every mistake is paid for with a life. When winter peaks, an Arctic blizzard sweeps across the land, bringing skin-cutting winds and a white veil that erases everything from sight. Trees shake violently in the storm, yet remain standing as they have for thousands of years. Beneath layers of ice that seem lifeless, a microscopic world continues to move. Cold-adapted algae grow slowly but steadily, forming the first nutrients in the food chain. Snow begins melting on branches and leaves across the forest. Even bacteria in permafrost regulate carbon in their own ancient cycle. Every tiny process helps keep life functioning steadily through the seasons. Today, this land is warming twice as fast as the rest of the planet, reshaping every part of its ecosystem. Glaciers retreat by meters each year, revealing ground hidden under ice for millennia. Moose expand their feeding ranges to adapt to shorter winters. Wolves and bears shift their hunting paths, following new patterns formed by the warming climate. Yet nature here is resilient, adapting slowly, cautiously, but persistently. The cycle continues, driven by the hope and endurance of northern life. The sun grows stronger, warming the earth beneath the thick snow and triggering the first signs of thaw. The first drops of melting ice fall, signaling the return of a new season. Beneath the ground, dormant seeds awaken, sending green shoots toward the damp earth. Caribou return to the north, following ancient migration routes their ancestors traveled for centuries. Migratory birds fill the sky as millions return after the long winter. Grizzly bears emerge from their dens, heavy-bodied yet wide-eyed with curiosity for the new season. They search for their first meals, roots, young shoots, and energy-rich larvae. Within weeks, the forest transforms from pure white into vibrant green. From frozen silence, life rises powerfully again, proving the resilience of northern nature. At last, spring conquers the cold, breathing new life into the entire forest. Dawn rises slowly over the savanna, revealing waves of golden grass stretching to the horizon. As the temperature climbs, life begins to stir. Winds sweep down from the highlands, carrying the scent of earth and the sounds of thousands of creatures awakening. A new day begins in an ancient rhythm. From the fresh hoofprints of antelopes to the deep claw marks of lions, the ground retells the story of the long night that has just ended. What appears peaceful is, in truth, a vast arena where time endlessly shapes deadly encounters. The African savanna spans more than 5 million square kilometers, the continent's second largest ecosystem. sustained by a harsh cycle of sun and rain. Fast-moving clouds signal a shift in seasons. Year after year, they precisely determine where migrating herds will travel. More than 40 species of hoofed animals live here, creating a stable food source for predators. This diversity forms the ecological foundation of the entire region. Every creature, from the largest to the smallest, is governed by the same rule: adapt or disappear. During the dry season, the grasslands turn brittle. Food becomes scarce, forcing intense competition among species. It is the perfect environment for agile hunters, but prey must develop lightning-fast reflexes if they want to survive. The honey badger appears a creature built on sheer determination. Despite its size, it is famed for thick skin and a ferocious fighting spirit. This small animal can withstand snake venom, raid beehives, and even confront lions. Its recklessness is legendary across the Savannah. Low shrubs become the stage for perfect ambushes. Dim light and dry grass make predators nearly invisible. Lionesses, gifted with stealth, often use this terrain to approach prey in complete silence. The honey badger occasionally wanders into lion territory without hesitation. Its instincts simply do not allow retreat. This is where true courage is tested, where a small but fearless creature can make even giants step back. Rivers are the lifelines of the dry season, but where there is water, danger always follows. A pack of African wild dogs arrives to drink. Their coordinated hunting strategy gives them a success rate above 80%. Beneath the surface, crocodiles lie motionless, storing energy for a lightning-fast strike. All species know this danger well, but survival allows no avoidance. As food dwindles, many animals must attempt a river crossing, the riskiest act of the entire year. Water hides more than crocodiles. Strong currents can sweep away the weakest individuals. Here, life or death decisions must be made instantly. There is no waiting for perfect safety. Every crossing season becomes a brutal test for entire herds. On the dry ground, a honey badger digs tirelessly for food. It seems unaware, or simply unconcerned, that predatory eyes are watching from behind. A group of young lions approaches out of curiosity. For most creatures, this would be a death sentence. But the honey badger carries a fearsome reputation, the most fearless animal in the wild. The fight erupts. With thick, loose skin, the honey badger twists inside a lion's grip and counterattacks. Turning defense into offense, it forces the confused lions to retreat. Seizing the moment, the small warrior escapes into a deep tunnel beneath a tree's roots. Lion claws are helpless against the underground fortress. Today, the tiny but stubborn fighter has escaped death, leaving the young lions in frustrated defeat. The Mara River lies calm but filled with danger. On a sandbank, a mother crocodile guards her precious clutch of eggs. The scent of new life draws a pack of wild dogs. Agile and opportunistic, the dogs quickly raid the nest until the mother crocodile returns. A sudden snap of jaws. The hunter becomes the hunted. Beneath the muddy water, a 1,000-pound bite leaves no second chances. In the struggle for survival, mercy has no place. Now it is the lion's turn to brave the deadly waters in search of new territory. Vibrations from their paws awaken the crocodiles. For the cubs, every meter they cross becomes a gamble with death. An ambush erupts. In the river, the advantage belongs entirely to the reptiles. The power of the great cat is useless when dragged beneath the surface. Fury explodes. Refusing to accept loss, the lionesses charge into the water, using claws and fangs to reclaim their fallen kin. Their unity overwhelms the crocodiles in the shallow zone. The reptiles retreat into deeper waters, leaving behind a blood-stained silence. The Mara River has claimed its toll. The survivors continue their journey, crossing the fragile line between life and death. Beneath the dry soil, a web of roots traps moisture, sustaining many species through the harsh season. Billions of insects enrich the soil daily, enabling the Savannah to recover quickly after annual wildfires. Honey badgers rely on deep underground burrows to escape heat and predators. Warning calls from antelopes travel for kilometers, forming a natural alarm network. Underground water keeps life going, even when the surface cracks with drought. These silent forces form the foundation that sustains the savanna's resilience over thousands of years. Climate change lengthens the dry season, making water ever more scarce. Herds must travel farther for food, pushing them into new zones of danger. Predators adapt by following prey across greater distances. The savanna is changing day by day, yet its ancient cycle still turns. Despite upheaval, the savanna maintains its fragile balance. In the future, these changes may reshape how every species survives. But nature always finds a way quietly, persistently. Sunset falls, bathing the savanna in deep gold as silence returns. The savanna settles into its gentle rhythm once more, preparing for another day of challenges.